All right, today we're diving deep into something pretty powerful. We're talking about unlocking your data. And no, not like some kind of hacking thing. We're going to be looking at Data API Builder.
Yeah, DAB for sure. It's like having a concierge for your data, making it easy to access and use.
A data concierge? Okay, I like that. But I have to admit, I'm still a bit fuzzy on what that actually means. What exactly is Data API Builder? And why should I care?
Good question. So DAB basically builds a bridge between your data, no matter where it lives, and the applications you want to use it with. It does this by generating APIs. You can think of them like connectors that let different systems talk to each other.
Okay, starting to see the picture. But why do I need DIB to create these API things? Can't I just connect things directly myself?
Well, you could, but it would involve a lot of custom coding, which can get really complicated. DIB takes all that headache away. It automatically generates the APIs for you. You don't need to write any code at all.
Hold on, are you telling me I can connect my data to different applications without needing to, become a coding wizard? That sounds almost too good to be true.
That's the beauty of DIB. It makes working with data accessible to everyone, not just developers.
Okay, you've piqued my interest. So can you walk me through an example where this would come in handy?
Absolutely. Imagine you have a customer database and you want to build a mobile app. So your sales team can access customer information on the go.
Yeah.
Traditionally, you would need to build a custom API to connect your database to that app. That's time-consuming, expensive.
Yeah, and honestly, a little intimidating for someone who's not a tech expert.
Exactly. But with Diabia, you simply point it to your database, tell it what kind of API you need, and it does the rest. It generates the API, and your sales team has instant access to customer data through their app.
So DIB is kind of like a universal translator for my data, making sure everything can understand each other.
Precisely. And that's just one scenario. You can use DAB to connect your data to websites, build integrations between different services, or even just pull data into a spreadsheet to analyze. The possibilities are really vast.
Wow, that really opens up a lot of possibilities. But let's be practical for a second. Say I'm intrigued by all of this, and I want to try DAB. Where do I even begin? Does this require, a computer science degree?
Not at all. Getting started with DAB is pretty straightforward, actually. The first step is to download the DAB command line interface, or CLI for short. It's a lightweight tool that lets you interact with DAB. Don't let the term command line scare you. It's just a simple way to give DAB instructions.
Okay, I can handle giving instructions. What's next on this DAB adventure?
The next step is to create a configuration file. This file basically tells DAB about your database, how to connect to it, and what kind of API you want to create. It's like a blueprint for DAB to follow.
So kind of like telling DAB, here's my data, this is how you get to it, and this is what I want you to do with it.
Exactly. You're the architect, DAB's the builder, bringing your data vision to life.
Starting to see why they call it Data API Builder.
Mm.
This is fascinating. So what happens once I set up that configuration file?
Once the configuration is in place, you just run DAB using the CLI. And that's it. DAB takes over and automatically generates the APIs based on your instructions. You can then use those APIs to connect your data to whatever you need.
Wow, that sounds incredibly simple for something so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impressed. So 3 steps and I'm off and running with my own custom APIs. No coding needed.
Exactly. Data API Builder really is a game changer for anyone who wants to make their data more accessible, more useful, without being a tech expert.
All right. I have to admit, I'm getting pretty excited about this whole Data API Builder thing. We've talked about what it is, why it's valuable, and how to get started. But I'm wondering, are there any limitations to what DAB can do? Are there certain types of data applications it just can't handle?
That's a great question, and one we'll get into after a short break.
Sounds good. We'll be back in a moment to explore the boundaries of Data API Builder. So before we went to that break, we were just getting into some of the potential limitations of Data API Builder. Is there anything DIB can't do?
Well, while DIB is incredibly versatile, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, it's designed to work with structured data, like what you'd find in a database.
Okay.
So if you're dealing with unstructured data, like, say, images or videos, DAB might not be the best tool.
Right, that makes sense. It's kind of like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. The data needs to be in a format that DAB can actually understand.
Exactly. Another thing to consider is that DAB really focuses on creating APIs for data retrieval.
Okay.
So if you need to build an API for really complex data manipulation, or transactions, you might need to look at different options.
I see. I'm starting to understand the boundaries here. So it's
Right.
great for accessing and retrieving data, but maybe not ideal for really heavy-duty manipulation tasks.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But even with those considerations, DIB is still super powerful for a wide range of data needs.
Okay, so we've explored the what and the how of Data API Builder. But I'm curious about the why on a larger scale. What kind of impact is DAB having on the way we work with data? Is this just a neat tool, or is it something bigger?
Oh, it's definitely bigger than just a cool tool. DAB is part of this larger trend towards making data accessible to everyone.
Okay.
Traditionally, working with data was the domain of IT specialists and developers, but tools like DAB are empowering anyone, regardless of their technical background, to access and utilize their data.
I can see how that would be a game changer, especially for businesses. No more waiting for IT to build custom reports or integrations. People can just get the data they need and make decisions faster.
Exactly. This shift towards self-service data access leads to increased agility, faster innovation, and better decision-making.
It's like giving everyone a key to the data vault. Data suddenly becomes this asset that everyone can leverage, not just a select few.
Precisely. And as DAB and similar tools continue to evolve, I think we'll see even more creative and impactful applications.
This is really getting me thinking about the future. What possibilities do you see on the horizon for Data API Builder?
One exciting development I foresee is increased integration with other cloud services and platforms.
Okay.
Imagine being able to seamlessly connect your data to, say, marketing automation tools, customer relationship management systems, or even social media platforms, all through DAB.
Wow, that would really take data integration to a whole new level. It's like breaking down all the silos and allowing data to flow freely between systems.
Exactly. Another area I'm excited about is the potential for enhanced data visualization and analysis capabilities within DAB itself.
Yeah,
Imagine not just being able to access and connect your data, but also generate insightful charts and dashboards and reports all within the same tool.
that would be amazing. It'd make DAB like a one-stop shop for all your data needs, from access to analysis.
Precisely. And with all the advancements in AI and machine learning, I think we'll see DAB become even more intelligent and intuitive, anticipating our data needs and helping us uncover hidden insights.
Almost like DAB is evolving from a data concierge to a full-fledged data advisor, guiding us towards better decisions and better outcomes.
That's a great analogy. As this technology matures, I think we'll see a shift from simply accessing data to truly understanding and leveraging its full potential.
Okay. I have to say, you've painted a very compelling picture of the future of Data API Builder. It sounds like a future where data really is at our fingertips, empowering us to make smarter decisions, innovate faster, and ultimately achieve greater success.
I agree. And the best part is we're still at the very beginning of this journey. There's so much more to discover and explore with Data API Builder.
Well, on that note of exciting possibilities, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive into Data API Builder. What would you say is the single most important takeaway for our listeners? Why should they care about DAB?
The most important takeaway is that Data API Builder is more than just a technical tool. It's a gateway to unlocking the true power of your data. Whether you're a business owner looking to gain a competitive edge, a marketer seeking deeper insights, or just someone curious about exploring their data, DAB makes it easy and accessible.
It's like taking all that valuable data you have that might be just sitting there unused and turning it into actionable insights and powerful applications.
Exactly. And with its intuitive interface and code-free approach, DAB empowers anyone, regardless of their technical expertise, to embark on this data-driven journey.
I couldn't agree more. I started this deep dive with a lot of questions, and to be honest, a bit of skepticism. But you've convinced me that Data API Builder is a tool worth exploring. It's simple, powerful, and it really has the potential to transform the way we work with data.
I'm glad to hear that. And I encourage all our listeners to give DAB a try and discover how it can unlock the power of their own data. The possibilities really are endless.
And who knows, maybe one of our listeners will create the next groundbreaking application that takes DAB to even greater heights. Until then, keep diving deep, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive. Yeah, it is amazing to think about how much potential is locked away in data, just waiting to be unleashed. It feels like we've barely scratched the surface of what's possible with Data API Builder.
Absolutely. What really excites me about DAB is that it's always evolving. The developers are constantly adding features and capabilities, really pushing those boundaries of what's possible with data access and integration.
You mentioned before DIB becoming more intelligent. Almost like a data advisor. Can you elaborate on that a bit? What kind of intelligence are we talking about?
So imagine this. You're working on a project that needs data from multiple sources. In the future, DAB might be able to analyze your project needs and automatically suggest the best sources to use, even recommending specific APIs and data points that are most relevant to what you're doing.
Wow, that would save a ton of time and effort. It's almost like having a data expert whispering in your ear, guiding you to the best insights.
Exactly. And this intelligence could even help with data preparation. DAB might be able to automatically clean and transform your data, getting it ready for analysis or integration without you having to lift a finger.
That would be a game changer, especially for those of us who aren't data experts. It takes down those technical barriers and lets anyone focus on the insights and the results rather than all that data wrangling.
Exactly. And as AI and machine learning keep advancing, I think we'll see DAB become even more proactive. It'll be able to identify patterns and trends in our data that we might not have even noticed otherwise.
Like having a data detective working in the background, uncovering hidden connections and opportunities.
I love that. It's like DAB is evolving from a tool for accessing data to a partner in discovery, helping us make sense of all that information we have.
You're right. That's a great way to put it. This has been a truly eye-opening deep dive into Data API Builder. I came into this episode a bit skeptical, I'll admit, but you've completely shifted my perspective. DAB is powerful, accessible, and constantly evolving, and it really does have the potential to change how we work with data.
I'm happy I could help clear things up. I encourage everyone listening to give DAB a try and see how it can unlock the power of their data.
It's definitely a journey worth taking. And on that note of data-driven discovery, we'll wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive. Until next time, keep diving deep, and we'll see you on the other side of the data frontier.